Hello and welcome to the Cabot Today Show. I'm Price Sheets.
And I'm Denali Manry. Many students around campus have already found their passions and activities. Now we want to highlight a few more of our fellow students.
We recently caught up with some passionate musicians here at CHS. Allison Donnelly joins us now with more.
Thanks, Price. That's right. Our story focuses on a few students here at CHS with the talent of making music, and it was music to our ears.
Here at Cabot High School, School of Innovation, we have a vast array of diverse students on our campus. Said students have chosen or are still choosing their career paths based on their interests. We at CHTV would like to highlight one group in particular, musicians. One musician in particular has cultivated a decent following in the area's punk scene. We sat down with Jackson from Trees After Doomsday and asked why he chose to become a musician.
Both of my parents were worship leaders when I was little, and just seeing them do music. My mom had a beautiful voice and my dad played piano really well, and I wanted to do both of those. So, honestly, I don't see myself pursuing music as a main gig, mostly as like a side hobby or something I do for fun. But I mean, if it goes that far, then that'd be cool.
Though making music can be a great creative outlet, making a living out of being a musician can be hard. We sat down with Lanston 13. When asked where they thought their music would take them in the future, this is what they had to say.
I imagine I'll probably be like one of those more like vague artists, like the ones you know, like kind of successful, but that nobody like really knows who they are because like nobody really cares. But yeah. Mainly I started doing it for fun, mostly just a hobby, something I do on the side. But I started feeling like I could really do something with this, you know.
Ever since I was little, I've always been kind of musically inclined. I see my music as kind of like a hobby more than a job.
Our local musicians taught us that creativity and happiness has no limits, especially in the art of making music. For the Cabot Today Show, I'm Allison Donnelly. Back to you.
Thanks, Allison. Lots of programs here at CHS help students dive into real-world scenarios. Criminal justice is a perfect example of that. Robert Valbrock investigated what it's like to be a part of this career course.
That's right, Price. Criminal justice is one of our many career tech classes offered here at Cabot High School. Recently, we visited Champs Hall to see what the class is all about.
Mr. Keith Graham is in his second year at Cabot High School teaching criminal justice. Prior to joining the teaching staff, Mr. Graham spent almost 18 years in law enforcement.
I grew up in law enforcement. I've been a police officer for almost 18 years now, so trying to give some of my experiences and some of my stuff that I've been through. You guys and students can see from law enforcement from a perspective that's not portrayed just by media and TV shows. Officers that are in doing really good, they look at them real positive, and then the negative officers, they do call them out.
Mr. Graham hopes all of his students graduate better prepared with more understanding of how the justice system works.
I got pulled over about a week ago, and if I did take this class, I probably wouldn't know what to do. But yeah, it sets you up for the real world. I thought it'd be a pretty easy class, but in reality, I learned a lot more than I thought I would, and it's just really beneficial.
He enjoys sharing his knowledge with his students.
This class sets you up a lot. It doesn't just talk about law stuff. I learned a lot of stuff to where in the real world I can use it.
And my grandfather's a police officer, so he's, I've always been interested in this class.
Criminal justice students are reaping the benefits of Mr. Graham's experience and his teaching. They say Mr. Graham's insight is making them want to pursue a possible career in the field.
Well, honestly, I think it depends on your career field and what you're wanting to go into. Me, I've always wanted to go in military or police force, so this is great for me. If I want to, after the military go into be a police officer or even more be like a SWAT team member, of course that would help.
After the Christmas break, Mr. Graham says he and his students will begin studying a simulated crime scene. That should be fun. Reporting for the Cabot Today Show, I'm Robert Valbrock.
Thanks, Robert. Courses like criminal justice can really help our students find the perfect career path for themselves. One student has already started down his own career path. Alexander Mariani looks past the cover inside the mind of an up-and-coming writer.
That's right, guys. Seth Jackson, a junior here at Cabot High School, looks like any other normal student. But as the saying goes, you can't judge a book by its cover.
His novel is called Cicero. Cicero is about a young boy whose father is deeply involved with politics, and he develops a lust for power. He and his mother struggle with the challenges of keeping their family together while surrounded by corruption, greed, and self-interest.
I'd say the best thing about writing was creating characters, creating scenery and imagery that was a lot of fun because it really made you think about what words to use and how to structure everything.
Where does Seth get his inspiration? Other than his love for writing, Seth takes his inspiration from several other things.
Two things inspired me to write my book. The first one was To Kill a Mockingbird, kind of the time period. And then the second thing that inspired me was I found the climax of my book in a Wikipedia article, and I thought, well, I think this will be a good thing to base a story on.
Despite the challenges of being a young writer, like getting a publisher and finding time to write, he was able to write and publish his book.
So the biggest thing while publishing really was doing all the editing of the book, making sure everything's correct, that the continuity and stuff like that, you can imagine that takes a lot of time. But once that was over, there were really no more obstacles.
Most young people think it's impossible to pursue their dreams at such a young age. But through hard work and determination, anyone can do it. And Seth is a perfect example of that. Miss Medlin, a teacher here at Cabot High, who has read Seth's book, has agreed to give an interview.
What audiences would you recommend this book to?
Bro, every single one of yours.
All audiences get to enjoy it. It's got something for older people and younger people.
What's your favorite character in the book?
Tony the son. He just has an interesting outlook.
Again, Seth's book is available online at Amazon and also at Barnes & Noble. Reporting for the Cabot Today Show, I'm Alexander Mariani. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Alexander. No matter the activity, Cabot High School is known for being very competitive.
The CHS choir is no exception. They're having a fantastic year this year. Isaac Tapia has the story.
Thanks, guys. We're nearing the end of the 2022 school year, and choir has been extremely busy here at Cabot High School. The choir has had some exciting events happen recently, such as All Region and the Christmas concert. Recently, I had the opportunity to catch up with a few members of the choir.
The Cabot High School Choir is having another outstanding year. Again, this fall, a large number of students were named All Region.
It honestly feels kind of great. I didn't expect to make All Region, but it turns out with some practice and some hard work, I actually ended up making second chair for bass 2.
I love choir. It's a safe space and it's a great environment to be in, so that you're with people who love doing what they do, and so it's honestly just I love choir.
Congrats to our choir students that made All Region, and best of luck to those who are trying out for All-State. Reporting for the Cabot Today Show, I'm Isaac Tapia. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Isaac. It is hard to believe that we are already halfway through the school year. It has been a safe year so far.
Officer Larry Thomas is a big reason why. DeCaleb Rudolph takes us into the life of our school's resource officer.
Thank you, Bryce. Officer Larry Thomas has been Cabot High School resource officer for a while now. We wondered how it is working as a school resource officer. Officer Thomas says his job has never been boring, and he looks forward to coming to work every single day.
Most students here at school need guidance, and Officer Larry Thomas is always willing to listen and give advice. He says interacting with the students is the best part of his job.
The pros would be me coming to work every day and interacting with you guys. That's the pros to this job. And the cons would be, I guess, when I would have to correct you all and redirect you all to do the things you're supposed to be doing.
Officer Thomas has served in law enforcement for 21 years, and he's been here at Cabot High School since 2018. Officer Thomas says there's no other place he'd rather be.
First off, I love children, and I have children of my own, and so I just felt like I would be able to make a difference within the schools.
McKenya and Priscilla come to the school every day ready to learn, but in their free time, they enjoy talking to Officer Thomas. They're grateful he's here at CHS.
He makes me think about my life choices. He's a funny guy, and he makes sure that we understand how to become young adults one day.
Thanks to Officer Thomas, our schools are well protected, and our students appreciate his advice. For the Cabot Today Show, I'm DeCaleb Rudolph. Back to you guys.
Thanks so much, DeCaleb. Students know they can count on CHTV for morning announcements and live streaming of sporting events.
But there is certainly more to broadcasting than meets the eye. Rachel Tyndall goes behind the scenes into CHTV.
Thanks so much, guys. So much happens here at CHS that it can be hard to spread important information around the school. CHTV works hard each and every day to make sure students are able to stay in the know. CHTV stands for Cabot High School Television. CHTV is the only program on campus that allows students to explore interest and career opportunities surrounding videography and broadcasting. Every morning, the crew comes in and gets prepared for the news. Quentin White takes us through the technical aspect of things.
Usually I come in here, the first thing I do is I flip every switch in this room. I turn on the lights, I turn on the TV, I turn on all the receivers, the microphones, everything. And then about like half hour, 45 minutes later, the rest of the crew shows up, and I make sure all of our systems are good. I make sure our stream is set up and good. I make sure all of our bits, like our opening, our closing, I make sure those are still in, because sometimes they get corrupted and we have to resubmit them into the TriCaster. And then we do mic checks. We make sure that everyone's microphone is at a good, even level across the board, and we run it. And then once we record it, we stream it up, and then we send it out to the rest of the school.
On the flip side, the anchors have a different way of getting ready. Grayson Lee shows us what it takes to be on camera.
So we walk in the morning, and we have like a good 5 or 10 minutes where we're getting everything ready for the day, and then Mr. Lilly will come up and ask 2 students to anchor, or he will already have told them before, like, hey, you're going to anchor on this day. And basically we get going, and we come in here, and we put on our anchor outfits. So in like my case, like I just normally put on a blazer over like a black top or an undershirt that I have on, and we go into the studio, and normally the TD is already over there at the TriCaster, and we have the prompter person already over there and the audio person already over there, and Mr. Lilly is usually already in there working on the script. And then we get in there, we put on our mics, we go sit at our table in the studio, and then we do our mic check, and we like look through what we're about to say about all the announcements, and then we get going.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Each week, Ben Starn hosts a special segment called Teacher of the Week, highlighting the faculty around school that makes our school run smoothly. Students submit their nominations through the Renaissance Club.
Me and my cameraman, whoever it is that week, will go to the media center
They then give Ben the award and t-shirt for the special winner.
and get the Teacher of the Week certificate or certificates and the t-shirts that go with them. Then we go to their room, we give them their certificate and the t-shirt, and it's one take. It's not scripted. Your Teacher of the Week.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
With thousands of students here at Cabot High School, getting information out about what's going on and highlighting the people who work the hardest is crucial. Thank you so much to the students working for Cabot High School Television for letting us see what's happening behind the scenes. Reporting for the Cabot Today Show, I'm Rachel Tyndall. Back to you guys.
Thank you, Rachel, and thank you all for watching.
For the Cabot Today Show, I'm Denali Manry.
And I'm Price Sheets. See you next time. Graduation happens here.